Do you ever just look at something and wonder how on earth it got there? Well, I think that's probably how my parents and my friends felt when they first saw me in church. I think lots of you will have friends or family who you can't even imagine becoming Christians. You've given up trying to talk to them about it because they're so far from being interested. Well, I want to share with you my story to be a message of hope for those who have got someone that you're just tired of trying to share your faith with. When I was younger, I had no interest in church. I actually kind of hated Christians, and I thought that they'd surrendered their ability to think for themselves. So I used to love asking them questions that they couldn't answer, that they struggled with, and to be honest, I actually kind of celebrated convincing friends to stop going to church. Talking to Christians about God often led to arguments, which I loved. I grew up as the youngest in a very politically intense family, so being able to argue and being sure of my opinions was key to survival. Arguments with Christians would often end in, well, come to church and see it for yourself, which I'd then laugh off and move on. Eventually, I agreed to come to an Easter service and hands up, mainly just because I was interested in the girl who invited me. And I went fully expecting to mock everything that I saw. But I liken what happened next to Saul on the road to Damascus. While I didn't go blind, I had a radical and unexplainable encounter with the Holy Spirit. It felt like God had finally had enough of me, and like Saul, he decided things would be different from now on. I didn't search for God, I didn't even ask for him. God stopped me in my tracks, he intervened, and he changed my life. I left sixth form on the Friday, infamous even among my teachers for being anti-Christian, and came back on Monday telling everyone that I'd been wrong. I'd love to say it was happily ever after, but my newfound faith really alienated me from my family and friends who thought like I had done before. But even though that was brutal at times, and still is, and I was alienated from them, I was reconciled to God. God freed me from a sin and a guilt that was so deeply a part of me that it had crept in so slowly over so many years that I barely noticed it until it was gone. My constant need to know was replaced with a freedom to trust. And I want you to know that no matter how difficult you find it, reaching that person or how discouraged you might feel, God is able, and God is pursuing even those that we think are the most unlikely. I've found hope in Jesus. Have you found hope yet?